I'm going to show you how I prep the chicken. This is a fundamental step that I do for most of my dishes. So today I have 2 chicken breasts, a very sharp knife, a bowl, groundnut oil or any oil you want except for olive oil, light soy sauce, pepper, salt. This is cornstarch and some water. And to start with, I'm going to prep the chicken. So this is a chicken breast, it's a free range ones. Whenever you can, buy the best chicken you can afford, because what you put in your body is very important. So as you can see, that bit already came out, so that's the tenderloin. So those will be cooked very fast. So sometimes I save them for when I do a like a KFC chicken style chicken, but today I'm just going to show you how I prep just generally for normal dishes. So I cut off the end bit, which is the tenderloin bit. They are nice and thin as it is, so that's fine. That piece the same. If you like really thin pieces, perhaps halve it. I will show you how to do that. Pat it really flat, have your knife really flat, and have your whole hand on it. Just gently go through like that. See? And a very thin piece will come right out. But be very careful. So same goes for this one. Pat it flat. So the thinner the pieces are, the quicker the cooking time will be, and the easier all the flavor will penetrate to the meat. Just like so. And don't worry about the sizes being different as long as they roughly the same thickness. So I was thinking of, I can do these as a stir fry or as a sort of a grill barbecue pieces. So now I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the remaining bit. Again, pat it really flat, and as you can see, that side is a bit thicker than that side, so that side needs to be, we will get more layers out of that side. So we do it this way. Can you see the, okay, also can you see the grain of the chicken? Cut it, so we're cutting it this way. So when, okay, let me just do a piece so you'll see what I mean. So when you want to do stir fry, the grain of a chicken is this way, then you cut it that way, so it's against it. But because I'm doing bigger pieces, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to talk about the grain another time. So today is more about just cutting them really thinly, like so. If you are not comfortable with the knife and just halve it, it's better when it's thin, but it doesn't matter because, you know, if you can't do it, you can't do it. Again, cut the tenderloin up first. If we have guests, I would clear up that bit so that everything is the same texture, but I actually quite like the different texture in my meat. This is just for us, so I'm just gonna leave it. But when we do really fancy dinner, I would clean up all the meat. Okay, pat the meat flat. make sure your knife is the sort of the same, you keep it the same way so that it's not in an angle to cut into you. You can cut it down or flat, never up. Okay, so now the meat is done. I'm just gonna lay them out very roughly. You'll see why in a second. Okay. So just wash my hands. I'm going to, as you see, this is just roughly laid out, so it doesn't have to be precise. I'm just going to put salt all over, pepper all over. I can do them in the bowl, but I want to make sure that every piece at least have some bits of salt and pepper. I'm just going to move like that to make sure that we don't waste any ingredients on the chopping board. So now, because how thin the pieces are, we don't need a lot. So we make sure that every piece is sort of coated with some salt, some pepper. It doesn't matter you know, how much is on each piece, because they will all go into that bowl in a minute. But I just want to make sure roughly every piece has some seasoning. Okay, like that. Next step. Going to put the cornstarch. This is about a tablespoon worth. I normally just take them out of the jar as it is to save waste, but I will rinse that out. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt, pepper, light soy, just a drop, and oil. Oil is very important. If you don't have soy sauce, you can skip that, but oil, pepper and salt are the fundamental ingredients here. So just a drop. As you can see, it's not much. I'm going to lightly combine them together. As you can see it's quite thick. Just going to add some water. It's important you do this separately before you have the chicken in, so that you can whisk out all the lumps from the cornstarch. The consistency is quite good. If it's any thicker, it'll be quite difficult to coat the chicken. Okay, now I'm going to put the chicken in one piece at a time to make sure that every piece is evenly coated, like so. I coat them on both sides, and I pushed the coated one on one side and coat the fresher pieces like that. Okay, now all the pieces are in and they're all been coated on both sides. Let's not waste the bits. Okay, and I'm just gonna mix them really well like that. If you're going to use them the same day or even the next day, put a cling film on, put them in the fridge. But we are not going to consume this because we have other food plans. So I will show you how I save them in the freezer, so on a busy night I can just take them out, quickly defrost them and put them on a grill, and with some salad, and that will be a meal. I'll show you how I bag them in a second. So I'm putting the date on, which is today's date, and I'm going to put what's in this bag. FR stands for free range, we know what it is. So B for breast, so marinated, free range marinated chicken breasts. Going to open it like that. Not waste the last bit of sauce. The bag is too big, I know. We couldn't find the smaller one we normally buy. There's a shortage, so we can only get our hands on the medium size. So once you get the chicken or your meat content in, roll it up like that to get most air out, and then seal part of it, not all of it, part of it, like so. So I left this much. Then the next thing is just spread the chicken out. Make sure every piece is flat like that. Like I said, usually we have a smaller bag, but we couldn't buy the smaller bag we normally use for about 2 months now. Wow, 2 months. So I have to use this bigger one, but that's okay. Which is okay because the thinner they spread, the quicker they defrost. Once you get to the, let me just try to make sure that one is not folded. It wouldn't take much space at all in your freezer once you put them like that. Then I will just place them in my freezer, and I put them in order, so I know when I made this what the content is, and once I take them out I can stir fry them, I can grill them, I can quickly put them on the oven, so we can do a lot of things with these on a very busy weeknight. Like so, it's perfectly flat and they won't leak. So I'm just going to place that. As you probably can see, I freeze some Iranian chicken mixture I made myself. So when we want to do a barbecue, I just defrost it. And I'll just put that in. And all those containers are the food we make. We don't waste anything, so we just put them in a container if we consume them. And yeah, that's it. Oh, I freeze cheese as well. So I'll put cheese in smaller bags, because every time we get a big bag, we end up wasting them. So this is much better.